Sounds like you're interested in artists who are curious about community, who want to engage with a wider public, who have something to reflect on kind of the experience of our times.
I think it's absolutely about kind of a curiosity to community, but also that can be about thinking about responding to heritage and a site and the layers that exist, in relation to the river or landscape or community history, and how these areas of London have evolved historically and the kind of power relationships that have defined that. For instance, like Larry's response to how the Royal Docks has evolved. And but equally, like someone like Larry is not a kind of public artist in that sense. He works across sound and performance and video. And
that's Larry Achimpong,
so,
right?
Larry Achimpong, sorry, yes. Mm-hmm. I think I don't know that I would say that we have like a stable of artists who all look and feel a certain way. I think that would feel quite, I think I'd feel a bit sad if that was I think it's also about kind of surprising encounters, presenting artists that provoke new questions about site, but also people talk about when they come to the line, they connect with one another and they connect with themselves in a new way. And often that's about the work also creating questions, and those questions might relate to the site, but they also might relate to the wider society, I guess. Historically, the line was founded as a loans model, and I think that meant that the works that were borrowed were things that were relatively kind of monumental in scale, that were very robust because they had to withstand the ravages of UK weather, that could, survive public interaction. So historically, I would say there's definitely kind of a scale and a materiality that was distinctively the line. But then I think things like Rana's response, which is much, she created these extraordinary delicate mesh forms that were suspended above you. That was much more of a kind of approach of like materiality and a kind of surprising encounter with form, because they were so light and sort of almost like dreamlike, these kind of colourful clouds. And that was almost the antithesis of, say, Gary Hume or a massive Martin Creed that was, that we've had on the line historically, or Gary Hume's still there. But so I think I would hope the program's kind of evolve to encompass a broader set of practices and broader responses over time.
So if an artist wants to work with an organisation like The Line, what would you say would be the way that they would get to know you and your team? How do the team get to know artists generally?
I mean, a lot of it is people that we've got to know over quite a long period, just through seeing their work or getting to know them through connections or existing relationships. I think artists coming to our events and getting to know the team that way is always really interesting. I think we do get a lot of artists that contact us, and I can't go to every studio visit, but I do love going to be able to see artists work in their own spaces and having that kind of dialogue. And I can't promise that everybody that I see will end up into a project, but at least it kind of gives a really lovely way in and a point of encounter. I think, as well as the kind of more, I guess, monumental or substantial commissioning programs that we have, which often take a really long time to evolve, and we work with artists over a number of years. We do also work with artists as kind of key parts of our engagement program, which can be through developing creative health programs with audiences and with community groups, or helping to support on delivery of family activities or school workshops or teachers workshops. It's very much driven by artist practice. Like, we really do want to support artists to work in that way as well, and for it to be informed by their practice and their approach to materials or whatever it may be. So I think it's important, as much as we talk about the line artist being the sculptures you see on the route, there's many, many different ways that we work with artists through the program, through like leading tours or facilitating and creating creative workshop programs based on their practice as well. So kind of artist facilitators, I guess, is what I'm talking about in a broader sense.